So, I forgot to hit that button. Oh, I was giving you all kinds of props too. So, that picture you just saw was from Keegan in the UK. He has been helping us develop our characters visually, and that was his rendition of the team as a whole. We had everybody, Aslan, Beskar, Grodan, Ko, and even Brian was in on the mix. So, thank you very much, Keegan. Greatly appreciated. If you want to see Keegan's other work, I highly suggest this side. There it is. Crisp Concept. Go check him out, particularly on Reddit. That's where we found him. Or Instagram. Very, very thankful and amazing job. So, yay!
Yeah, we love it, man. You're awesome.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I love it a lot. I'm so happy.
All right, so when we left off, you guys had tortured the poor soul yet again, threatening to cut out his tongue. He feared for his very life.
Let's just say he
transformed.
I was trying to be diplomatic and offer him an olive branch, and he tried to take advantage of it and attack me.
He tried to take advantage of it to save his life and failed miserably.
He wasn't in danger until he attempted to do that.
I mean, he was a prisoner.
He was a prisoner, but he wasn't in danger.
Most prisoners of war don't go back home.
So
I was about to offer him that option when he started pulling that stuff.
Oh, he's dead now.
Well, he's dead now. There's blood all over the floor. A white form body bleeding out the door.
Aslan is collecting it.
Aslan is on his knees, scooping it up. There you go. All right. You collect how many vials? Let's see here. 1d4 minus 1. You collect 1 vial.
Perfect. That's all I need.
So you have 1 vial of changeling blood.
Woohoo!
All right. So, Grodan is he's going to direct the one of the guards. Prepare his body in a tarp. We will be taking it with us when we leave.
Yes, sir. And they begin scurrying around, pulling his body back inside the room so they can close the door. They don't want to leave a dead body out for the palace to see.
All right, so as far as provisions that are available here, would it just basically be like food and stuff like that?
Food and armor
like,
for a Loxodon.
Loxodon arms, yeah.
Yeah, for a Loxodon, you have, unlike everywhere else you've been, where it's been impossible for you to find things for you, you have, for you, pretty much, this is where you would do your shopping. For everyone else, food and clothing, if they needed to have clothes altered, they could probably have that done. There are wonderful craftsmen here. But there's not a lot of opportunity for magic items and shopping.
He's going to go to a tailor and get like some clothes befitting.
Yes.
The War Master,
because so you'd spend
he's
probably
basically just got normal soldier clothes right now. Right,
you'd spend probably no more than 2 gold on actually very nice Loxodon outfits. You would find that fairly easy. There are plenty of craftsmen in the town who make everything from pots and pans to clothes and hats.
Yeah, he doesn't need anything, like, he just needs some, clothes that are more befitting somebody of a higher station now.
Right. All right. So you are able to do so. It takes you about half an hour to an hour. You ask around and make a deal, and next thing you know, you have a very nice set of Loxodon formal wear.
And
I'm not sure what Loxodon formal wear would.
stock up on provision. I'm assuming that it looked again, very like Hindu, like Rajput influence. Very flowy.
Yep.
Stuff like that. He is going to stock up on provisions and try and get some of the vegetables and fruits that they would cook here, or they would have here.
Yep. You get lots of like dried fruit,
home.
especially things that would last on the road.
Yep.
Dried vegetables and salted vegetables that will keep. You do so?
Oh my goodness, that's one of the things that he wanted done while he was here. He wanted to get Borko brought into the city so he would be safe.
He is on the boat. He's been there for a couple days now.
Yep, which they have food and stuff there, but he wants to see if like they can get like a smaller boat and like get him safely into the city where he'll be, safer and happier, and he'll know where he's at.
Yeah. Have to figure that out.
All right. So yeah, he's gonna go and I guess find like one of the guards, or like actually he's gonna find one of the captains.
All right. You see the captain, one of the guys that was stunned in there. Is like, I'm so sorry about how that went down, sir. I don't know what came over me. I just couldn't move all of a sudden. It's embarrassing, very embarrassing.
It was my oversight. I was wondering, how do we traverse the tunnel now?
The tunnel? Oh, you mean the
yes.
river? As far as I know, you can only go out right now. There's no in. It's been barricaded due to the cave-in. Someone put some explosives on the top of the thing, and it came crashing down that last week. That's why we're all up in arms. Why we're all a little freaked out. If they could do that up there, what means they couldn't do that in here and in the town?
So he's thinking right now. The doors, and is that landing area? Is that decently sized? The one that we came on, the one that we got onto.
It is big enough for 3 or 4 people. Yeah, so 10 foot by 10 foot.
If we were able to get the ship forward, like...
Yeah, you could lower him down, Borko, onto that little spot, yes. I see where you're going with that. Because there's a winch system for the dinghies. You could just rig the winch system for the oxen.
Yeah, he wants to lower him onto that and then just have him walked into the city that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that would work. You talk to the captain and describe the winch system, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I think we," and he figures out a plan, and together the two of you think that's very doable.
Very well. In the morning, we are going to depart, and I will need help from any engineers that we have available to help clear the way for the ship to get forward. I believe it will also be easier for the ship to turn around before we get... Because it's a pretty large space before, like, the break, right?
It's actually just big enough for a ship, so you don't think the ship could do, like, a U-turn here. You're probably going to have to, like, work it out backward.
Okay. We're going to have to do that either way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So he's going to, I guess tomorrow, get started with all of that.
Yeah, well, would he know that? Aslan would know that, possibly. Roll a history check, Mr. Aslan. Let's see what you know or don't know about things that have happened to you. What you think of in the heat of the moment.
Really good history. 21.
21. All right, so I didn't see that. Oh, you probably rolled it in a different channel.
I
No worries.
It's in the dice
21.
rolls.
It applies, but oh no, it showed up. It just didn't show up in the. That's weird.
Yep.
Huh. Okay. You remember that there's this thing called control water, and boy, that would come in really handy right about now.
I was actually just thinking that because I was.
Yeah, that's why I figured, but in case someone wasn't, your character has seen that before. I.e.,
But none of us have that.
in Thay, when you were there, you saw that happen. So,
Aslaneve perks up to Grodan. Grodan, I think if somebody can get me every single a spell book of some sort, I can probably look up the spell Control Water, and I could push the boat with magic.
I believe the only magic that my people have any knowledge of is going to be more base in enchantment and rune crafting.
Yeah, but you're not exactly the authority on magic, so I'd like to hear a better
I-
opinion.
That is correct. I would see possibly about addressing the mistress or maybe even my mother. They would know more than I would.
All right, well, I'll hit your mother up first, and then
Please don't hit my mother up. No, joke.
I know. As he says, he's like, "Well, I'll go see your mother first, and then I'll probably need you to get me an audience with the mistress." I have
Very
I
well.
don't have much weight here.
You don't have much weight in general. You
That is also
do not
true.
weigh very much.
Yes, Grodan. And he's just like, ugh. Yeah, so I guess he, since Aslaneve now has a plan, he dashes off back towards Grodan's house.
okay. You
And
mentioned.
Grodan's gonna head that way too, because at this point, there's not much they can do for the rest of the day. I mean, he's already gotten everybody.
You mentioned this to Vesmoya, and she's like, I don't know if control water. Mine is more, well, persuasive in their abilities. Sorry.
Do you know anybody who would?
No, not off the top of my head. Perhaps, I don't know, someone who spends more time around water, maybe? I don't know. If you spend time around it, would you learn how to control it?
I doubt that's how magic works all the time, but I'm pretty sure someone said that about the fireball. Oh, that's impossible, but somebody did it.
Right. Sure. Yeah. Fireball. She stops and takes a note in her journal.
So I suppose I should get Grodan to get me an audience to Mistress, see if she knows anyone or maybe has access to more esoteric studies.
Well, I'm pretty much the most gifted caster here, and my casting is limited to the herbal remedies I've learned while traveling with druids and such. We aren't really we don't do a lot of magical things here.
Maybe I could try it on my own without a book, but I don't think that'll work.
It would take
really
you know that as a wizard, it would take you a very long time to, even though you know the end result you want, it'd be like a chemist trying to say, I want a chemical with the following properties, and then having literally every chemical under the sun to mix together to get those properties. You could probably figure it out, but it would take you a lot of trial and error and testing and retesting to generate a chemical, or in this case, set of actions, words, and emotions that would generate the effect you're looking for.
We don't have that time. As Grodan repeatedly stated. Where is there another Loxodon city by the water? What about Mirabar? Is Mirabar on the water?
Mirabar is, there's a river that cuts through it, but it's very much inland. The nearest Loxodon settlement I know of is probably going to be Termish. It's far south of here in the Osran Mountains.
This is where the mages are, correct?
No, the mages are in the giant Spire Mountains. They're in Narfell. It's a region very close to the deserts of Thay.
Oh.
Termish is south of here. It's in a very mountainous region, but humid, not nearly as cold as it is here. Or would be here if it weren't for the radiators.
What do you propose, Grodan? These are our options.
We may have to move the ship the old-fashioned way, as they say.
Well, Loxodon are hardy people, aren't we, son?
We are indeed. The options, I believe, for you to acquire more magic would be once we have exited, so back towards Luskan or Neverwinter.
And Aslaneve grimaces, and he says, I know who would know.
Who would that be?
I cast Sending on Blix.
What
All right.
the heck?
Do you really want to do that?
I mean, he can't hurt me where I'm at.
As far as you know, sure.
Yeah. I
All
don't have
right.
to tell him where I'm at.
This is true.
Just-
It is just a voice. He has no idea where that voice comes from.
That is true.
So you cast Sending. You target Blix in your mind. You know this face very well, and just seeing it in your mind even infuriates you. But you hold on to the thought. What do you say to your tormentor? You have 25 words, and you know that.
I need to know how to control water, and I know you know, so tell me.
Well, that's a natural 20 persuasion.
You're going to have to
What do you
roll
think about
persuasion
that?
at disadvantage on that one, because I'm not exactly sure how a grumpy old curmudgeon of a gnome is going to answer that. So I'm going to let the dice tell me how he's going to answer that.
It's a 3. I can't.
God.
I don't.
Oh,
I'm not gonna even bother.
Oh, you do. You send it, and you first of all, let's see, 5% chance to fail, different plane. No,
I'm gonna roll a
okay.
d20. Don't roll a 1.
I did. And you hear, who on? Oh, Aslaneve. You survived. Well, good to know. Control water is a spell you would probably want to use. You rolled a 3. You didn't persuade him to do much.
I cast a knee again, and I was like, please simply walk me on how to cast the spell, please. I need to be able to do this.
I don't know that I could teach it in such a short time. You would hold your fingers like so, and then will the water to move. Of course, you can't see his hand.
It's like, Aslan was like, I knew this was pointless.
I like the ingenuity, though, I have to say.
I take it that was not a very fruitful conversation.
Well, we've never been really good in the way of, especially in the way of words.
And
But-
you thought that would work? How?
Well, I mean, he did teach me some things, so I can't say he never taught me anything. But
But does he like you and want you to succeed?
I don't want him to see anything he does either. But I mean, I suppose not. I don't know. I just gave it a shot. I don't see you moving water with your mind, Beskar. So I'm thinking of all my options.
I can create or destroy water. I cannot move water.
Right, you can
Exactly.
create like 5 or 10 gallons, which would be great in a bucket, but it's not going to move a boat.
I think I can do more at a higher level, but it's not going to be very effective.
I doubt it. Yes.
All right. So, what are you all doing for the evening? Are you buckling down for the evening, or are you going to start marching that direction and try to take care of that today? It's about... How long have we been? We've been doing that. You did lunch. So, like 2 in the afternoon? You tormented a guy,
Then killed him.
then killed him, but, all in a day.
As an was like, I think maybe I should check. I don't know. I just don't. I want magic to be the solution here, but I just don't see it being so.
Yeah, this is not a land of magic. They get a lot more done without it, generally speaking.
It's not letting go and join again.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
I still technically have that water gem from the test. From
All right.
the mage test. If I powered it with magic, it did fill a lot of water. So in the test, so I could use that.
Oh, I know which gem you're talking about now. Holy crap, I'd forgotten about that. And you did wrench it free.
I did.
Yes, you did. And it produces several hundred gallons a minute. Yes, it does.
So Aslan digs in his bag and he pulls out this I think the gem was weighed 5 pounds. It was a fairly decently sized gem, I think.
Yeah, it's massive. You could sell it for a very pretty penny if you wanted to, which I'm surprised you haven't. But I do remember what you're talking about.
I totally forgot about it.
All right, so you have
I have this. And he shows it to Grodan. I have this gem. It could be very useful.
Hang out to not letting Grodan join again.
What? Oh, did
okay.
we lost him?
Uh-oh.
Sorry. Someone didn't ban him, did we? That would be bad.
I didn't.
Meeting details. Copy. Let me paste this back to him. One moment. I'm going to see if... Whoops. Nope, the number did not change. All right. So if that still doesn't work...
All right, I'm
And
back.
he's back. Yay.
Yay.
All right.
Welcome back. Yay.
So, I don't know if you heard that, but Aslan discovered something I had even completely forgotten. He had a gem of water creation in his bag that produces several hundred gallons per minute.
All right.
I had
Aslan
completely
usually
forgotten
see-
about...
Aslan says, you know what? Magic is the solution to just about any problem.
Oh my gosh. All right.
It's we could.
Mr.
we could be
Hoarder
out of
comes
here.
through again.
I think we should get on the boat now.
It would probably be wise that we rest.
We can rest on the boat.
We,
You know it's about 2 in the afternoon,
you may be
Grodan?
ready.
So it is. I mean, if you want to rest, you are able. I'm just letting you know you have plenty of
So there's,
daylight.
there's still daylight. I think we should take who we have now and go. You only needed 10 of them. So we'll take who we have and let's get going. I'm ready to depart from this place.
I understand. They must have time to prepare, as well as the engineers that are needed for clearing the tunnel.
Do we need to clear the tunnel right now? We don't have the time for that.
It will take weeks to clear the entrance. Is that what you're talking about? That was Vesmoya. She's like, I'm confused.
No, there are sand flows that the boat is docked into that were not there before.
Probably from the cave-ins, yes, but if they're going out, they didn't run into them on the way in, except that one, did they? I don't know. I wasn't there.
I was hoping to have my ox disembarked so we could be here and safe.
I think we should keep Borko.
And what reason?
With how...
Would I have
I
to
don't
put
like,
my ox in danger?
I don't like walking.
And with how sporadic our traveling needs are, it would be wise to have a disposable means of transportation. So we let Borko here in the stronghold, and we just buy a horse whenever we need to.
Aslan says, "Don't worry, I can probably get Borko down."
That was magic.
The issue is getting him from that ship to the landing area there.
I have it covered.
Feather fall and a good push. That's all you need.
And a boat underneath.
Sorry, not helping.
I'm sure Borko can swim. But no, I don't. I have this all planned out. Please just trust me for once, Grodan.
Very well. Allow me to go to the barracks and assess where they are at in preparation.
All right. So you head out.
He's going to head to the barracks to check and see where they're at.
All right, you do so. You get to the barracks, and they're cleaning up and picking up and getting themselves together, and Captain stands up. Oh, sir, I thought I had till this evening to get you the names, but, well, did you come for those?
We also must move the timetable forward.
Okay.
We're looking to depart tonight.
I have the names. We're all here. We can go now if you want, but I didn't realize we were leaving to march that quickly.
Ideally, the faster that we move, the more of an advantage that we will have.
That makes sense, I guess, yeah. All right, well.
See to the final preparations.
He stands up, says, guys, looks like we're on it early. Let's go. And they pull themselves together and
we will meet at the entrance to the tunnels.
Yes, sir. And they start picking up their gear and getting things ready.
I must say goodbye to my mother.
I'll meet you at the ship.
So you head back to the house?
Yep.
You cut back through town. The town itself is fairly, I would say, busy, but it's a little bit vacant with so many of the warriors gone. But you see teens and such. They just kind of smile and wave at you. And as you get back to the house, your mother is sitting there making dinner. Oh, there you are. Hi. It's been so good to have you home.
It has been good, but it has been a very pleasurable time, Mother. But it is time for us to depart.
I figured as much. Well, you look great in the armor, And you have made me a very proud mother. And she runs forward and just, very uncharacteristically of Loxodon, gives you a big hug. And then says, be sure to encourage the young ones.
I will. And then he takes his out of his pack. He takes his old armor that he had. I wish to leave this for father.
Does it need repair?
It does not, but more of a sentimental item.
She
This is
smiles.
the armor that I wore while I became battle master. I know that father has a propensity for items that are of historical value.
He will put it in his shop with pride. And she smiles and takes it from you and think, oh, a little heavier than I thought. Sets it off to the side. Well, have a safe journey. Are you coming back to sleep here? Do I need to make the pallets again? We don't have much room, but I can, well.
We are
She kinda
departing.
hangs her head
now.
for a minute. We have a little more room now, I guess, but. Well, if you come back tonight, we will have room for you, I promise. And she gives you a big hug again. And
Thank you, mother.
do you want rations for the road?
I was able to stock up prior to.
She goes into the
Yes.
kitchen and starts pulling out loaves of bread and things that you know
In
are going
true
to.
mother fashion, just
Yeah,
ignores
yeah.
everything.
You know it's going to spoil, but she's putting it in a bag anyway. You know, little bits of cheese and some salami and that kind of thing. Well, not salami because that's meat,
Eat
but
meat.
but bean sprouts and yeah.
Thank you, mother.
There you go.
Grodan feels a message, and it says, "Tell Desmoya bye for me from Azaniv."
My friend Aslaniv wishes to convey a farewell to you.
That one is so
I would
strange.
assume I send the same thing.
He is extremely strange.
The other one is very nice, though. You have good friends. And the chubby fellow. I know he gets in your way, but he really means well. Listen to him. He's smart.
I was more concerned about him putting judgment on our people when he does not know our ways.
I know.
I'll walk into the house and say, "It's been a pleasure meeting you. Good
Oh,
day."
and you as well. Oh, you are. Take care of my boy.
I will. I always give him a hand in fights.
I imagine. You are a strong, capable warrior, it seems.
Unless it is a fight
Yes.
that I must partake because of you.
He's helped me in fights too, as much as I've helped him.
Well, he is the war master.
Tell him to hurry up. We don't have all day.
Alaniv is being impatient, and he wants you to hurry.
Well, have a
Grodan
great
is going to
trip.
say goodbye, and he's also going to walk at a very slow pace.
So it takes him another half hour. It is now approaching 3 o'clock by the time you see him coming around the corner.
Not super slow, but he's going to, specifically once he gets within view of Aslaniv, he's going to take his time.
Bend down, tie his shoe unnecessarily, stand up and stretch. Okay, are we ready to go?
Asaniv saying,
He has his hands crossed and he's tapping his foot and he's like, "Oh my goodness."
I bend down to send a message to Asaniv saying, "We are on our way. We are hurrying ASAP. We will be there soon."
He's going to start taking his time once Aslaniv can see that he's doing this deliberately.
Right.
Oh no, I know that, and I send the message while he can see me.
How far away is the boat from the shoal that we lived on?
From that,
The little
from that,
outcropping there.
yeah,
the maybe, I don't know, 100 feet. I mean, it's not that far.
Okay.
It's not like it was a half mile in or anything.
Gotcha.
When Grodan finally takes his sweet time getting to the outcropping,
Yep.
Aslaneve was like, "Okay, now you'll stay here. I'm gonna boat across. Actually, never mind." And he just dimension doors to the ship.
Oh, when you're at the other... Okay, so you make your way through the tunnels. Yeah. You find your way into the tunnel. You went there alone, apparently. So I need an intelligence check from you, please, since you went alone. Because there's not one tunnel through there. It's a maze of tunnels.
Is it? Would it help if I know the way as a player?
No. That's why I'm doing an intelligence check for him to see if he remembers which rocks to turn at.
14.
You get in there and cruising along. You're like, they'll catch up with me, and you're moving through, and you do see at one point you pass the bloody mess that was the lizards, and you see where that happened, and you're like, now wait a minute, we had to turn to get here. Nope. So you backtrack, and then you get looking around going, okay, there's a left and a right and a... Or was it a left and a left? How long do you take, Grodan? If he has already gone into the tunnel.
If he sees that Aslanev's already left, he's gonna pick up and go at normal pace.
All right, so you're standing at that intersection for about 10 minutes, and you try a couple different things, and you realize I'm not finding my... So you work your way back to the intersection that you know you've been here before. And about that time, you see Grodan coming around. If you had rolled a 2, you would have been, like, helplessly lost. But you rolled a 14. It was... a 16 was the number I had written down, so you are lost, but not hopelessly lost. And you see Grodan coming around the corner with Beskar and Bringen, who is now catching up with you.
And the Loxodon.
Well, yeah, and the Loxodon guards. Yeah, that's true. You would have had to have passed them, too. So... They finally catch up to you, and
it's like I got a little turned around in the caves, but
it is almost as if Patience would have avoided you getting lost.
I just think you took your sweet time.
Wait, whoa, guys. Did Aslaneve just admit he made a mistake?
Aslaneve just looks at you and let's go.
Yep. Okay.
So you head out.
That's how it is.
And you, between the lot of you, you know that how to, especially with the guards who traverse these tunnels frequently to repair them and take care of things, they get you through to the other side and open the door, and you see the ship just a little off to the left, still stuck on what appears to be a set of boulders. The captain yells out at you, "You're alive! Thorba came back last night and said that you were taking care of something about a changeling in the midst."
That is correct.
Well,
yeah.
We were beginning to worry about you. Good thing we packed for plenty of food, extra days of food, but we're good. Now,
fantastic.
Any chance of maybe getting us free from this mess? And you see that they have ropes strapped onto the side, and they've been trying their own things. Unsuccessfully, obviously.
He kind of waves and says, "Don't worry, I have a solution for that."
Great! Thorba climbs down the ladder rope and jumps off onto there's a little piece of ice about that big. And she kind of skirts her way along the edge until she gets to the landing where you guys are, and says, "Well, it took y'all long enough, but I'm sure glad to see you. I take it diplomatic missions have gone well."
They have.
What's the face for?
With the exception of the issue with the changeling last night.
Yeah, I heard you guys got into a little trouble. That's why I came back here. I figured I'd let them know what's going on and let them know we didn't forget about them.
Yeah, by the way, is the changeling corpse secured on the ship? Maybe?
Corpse?
Or did we forget it?
Wait. Corpse?
So we're supposed to be having a supply train brought here while we're doing all the work and everything.
Right, and
Okay.
she was unaware of any corpse, and she's like,
And so that's another reason why we can't be all impatient, Mr. Aslaneve, because we got to get them resupplied. They had 2 days that they weren't accounting for as far as supplies.
they packed an extra. You remember that he said he packed an extra week's worth of rations and food on the ship. So they have food and supplies at the moment to make it back to Luskan at least, if they can just get free. And the captain informs you of such. You're aware of that.
We do have some supplies and also some minor trade items coming, such as silk.
Okay. That would be
And some
amazing.
Loxodon still ingots. As a show of good faith.
That is quite all right. Yeah, we would greatly appreciate that. Do you want us to wait here for it, or what? I'm confused.
As we are helping you, yes, it is on the way here. It should be here within a few hours.
Okay.
Which
Well.
should give us time to get the boat free.
All right.
Yes.
So she begins, ordering people around, and people seem to be listening to her as she's saying, go get this and go. And the captain seems to have made her the point person for the land extraction. So Thorba's, giving orders, and she looks at you. What else do you need done? We got sails.
How are you planning on getting Borko safely to there?
I just need to get to him, and I got a plan for that.
If we could, Captain, could we have my ox brought to the deck?
She kind of, sure. Let me get the winch out, and she orders one of the crew members to secure the winch and bring up the cargo. So it takes them a good 20-30 minutes, but they finally get everything hooked up and lowered and strapped on and get him pulled out. He's not happy about being lifted by the belly, but it takes a good 4 of them to pull the winch. They finally get him
to be helping with that.
Yeah.
And now we're on the ship, right? The actual ship.
Well, you'd have to get to the ship, so I need a dexterity check from anyone who tries to get to the ship to get on it, because there is ice between here and there.
And I already wasted my Indomitable.
I believe that would be everybody.
Well, I didn't waste it because it helped me pass, but...
You used it successfully, but you have used it, yes.
A dexterity check, you said?
A dexterity
20.
check, yes.
That's a Grodan roll.
I find it interesting that the chat... Oh, I see what's happening.
What's
16.
happening?
Okay. The chat is somehow cut off. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let me fix that while I'm here.
Actually, I'm not going to get on the boat. I mean, I already rolled. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
You're
I
not
will
getting
be
on the
not
boat? Why
I'm
are
gonna
you?
get on the
Dimension door to it.
I'm not going to get the little dinghy. I'm just going to dimension door to it.
Okay, so you guys are all skirting along the little wall of ice. There's a little ledge that sticks out from the river. It's a good 6 or 8 inches thick, but it's only about 1.5 feet wide, just enough you can kind of shimmy along sideways. We had... Oh, that was Aslaneve's roll. Aha.
But he decided to dimension door.
So Aslaneve starts skirting, and his foot slips into the ice cold water, and it's in that moment he realizes, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, and he, I won't say as a reaction, but in that moment decides, magic, and appears on the deck. The rest of you, I didn't see the rolls as they were going by, so let me see if
20
anyone
for
else.
Grodan.
20 for Grodan, Beskar, and Bringen. 18. All right. So Bringen is successful. You all get to the rope ladder and climb your way aboard. Bringen takes a little longer, but he finally does get himself aboard. So you see Borko on the deck, and he sees you and starts like... Have you ever seen a cow run? They kind of do this little lopey,
that
hoppy
goofy
thing.
Gallop. Yeah.
Yes. He's trying to do that, but he's also strapped at the belly on a winch, so his feet are moving, but he can't go anywhere. As he sees
Calm,
you
friend.
coming up.
You'll be fine.
All right.
I am going to keep you here with my family. You will be safe. You will be cared for.
He nudges you with his head.
And he's going to he's gonna write a letter to his parents and to anybody else, and then attach it to Borko's horn, so they can read it whenever he gets back.
All right. The captain of the guard says, we'll have one of the men escort your ox back, because you see that there's extra men here. They're not just the 10.
Yeah.
They came to help.
He is a very dear friend, and I know that we take care of many animals, but I ask that he be treated as if he were a member of my family.
Yes, sir. He seems very respectful over it.
How will we get him to the shore now, Aslaniv?
Aslaniv puts his hands on Borko and casts Dimension Door to the other side.
Borko is a size larger than you are.
He is.
He's larger than Grodan, and Grodan is barely big enough to be considered medium creature.
Holy fuck, I didn't think this through.
So, again, how are you going to get Borko off the boat? You get up there, you put your hands on him, and you begin to concentrate on how much energy you're focusing into him, and you go, there's a lot more beef here, beef here than I thought. And you realize, this isn't going to work. What do you say, or do?
Aslaniv's like, oh yeah, I didn't think about this. Well, he's deep in thought right now. I can do that. Okay, can you lower? Is there enough space for Borko to be lowered down on that glacier, down on that little extra shoal part?
Dude, he's an ox.
Yeah,
I mean,
they have winches. They have the winches, and they could set him down into the water up to his belly or so, and he could, clump his way back up onto the part where where the ship is wedged.
That'd work. I have a solution for that, so that he doesn't, have to swim all the way.
Okay, so they crank the winch up and pick him up and swing him over the edge of the boat and start lowering him down slowly.
Grodan's gonna get down just so he can be near him and try and calm him down.
I guess Aslaniv is on. This will sound a little comical, but Aslaniv is riding him as they're on the winch.
Okay.
Because I need to be on that little shoal part when I cast this spell here.
Okay. So you ride him down, and they give you funny looks like this dude's heavy enough as they're winching, but they don't say anything to prevent you. You ride it down.
All right. There is a clear space between me and the outcropping, right? And about how many feet of water? About 100 feet, 120 feet?
About 100 feet. If you get him closer, probably even less than that, because he has to walk forward a bit to. He gets into the water about chest deep, and it's ice water. It's ice melt. And so as his feet hit it, he's like jumping and bucking and trying to like, no, I'm in. And you see him just kind of resign and start clomping his way up the path once he has enough slack in the line.
Once we get closer, within say like 60 feet or so.
I don't know if you can get within 60. It is about a 20-foot stretch. So you can get within 80.
Okay.
And he gets close and looking over there like, okay, now what? And you just kind of...
I'm going to cast Azlaniv's Glacial Oblivion on the water in front of me.
You're going to have to describe that one, because I know you've renamed a lot of the feature spells.
I have. It's a spell that's supposed to do damage, but it also freezes water.
All right, there's no one in front of you, so you can use it. I think I know. What's the root of that one that you copied from?
It's a 60-foot. It's 15 feet wide, 60 feet long.
Beskar,
line.
Okay.
do you not have the ability to levitate something or someone?
I do not.
So you cast this burst of frigid that normally would have done boatloads of damage, but you hear as it goes forward, the water underneath freeze and crack and stiffen and crackle all the way out. And about 50, 60 feet out, you see that freeze taper off and become water again. But you have a good 2-3 minutes of ice melt, or ice, in front of you.
And I guess so that
and
way
it is a foot
he
thick,
can
if
get
I
on
remember
top of
correctly.
It is.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah, foot thick would support his weight.
and it'll last for 60 feet.
So you go 60 feet out, and you still have another 15, 20 feet to go. And as you look down, this part's not rubble. You see it is perfectly clear ice melt, so you can see way deep. And it goes a good 15, 20 feet down, perfectly clear. You see the rocks at the bottom.
Well, I mean, I guess we could try to traverse it. I guess. I mean, that's all I can think of. I can only do that once.
So you're standing out at the edge, and you see Borko pacing back and forth at the edge, like, where do I go? Where do I go? Are you beside him, Grodan, or what are you doing?
Can I try to? My animal handling sucks, but can I try to calm Borko and convince him that it's okay?
You can try. It's ice cold. This is not something an ox would generally willingly jump into. So
Come on, animal.
you can try.
Even though Azlaniv's never held or loved an animal in his entire life, he can try to do this.
You've held a few as you slit their throats. You've held a few.
20.
Grodan is next to him.
I got a 20.
You did roll a 20. All right, so he kind of.
Can you guys
see
hear me?
him? I heard you. Yeah. What?
Okay.
Grodan
good deal.
is next
Sorry.
to him.
He was right there. I got something in my eye and I had to go wash it out.
No worries. So you pat him. Come on, and he takes his tentative step forward. And I need you to make a dexterity check, please.
2.
You are riding him, correct?
I was.
So he takes a step forward, and knowing that it's 20 foot deep, he basically doesn't knows you convinced him to go forward. You said, come on, you pat its rump, and he's like, my rider tells me to, and he steps forward into the frigid water, and you go, you're not expecting it, but you tumble forward and into the very frigid water. Well, I need a constitution check from you. The ox is fine. He's got enough blubber. He doesn't have a constitution problem, but you're a thin little half-elf.
Yeah, this is not going according to plan.
I like how
This is your plan. This is your plan. I'm just telling you what the numbers are.
I forgot that I can't. I thought I was like, oh, dimension door, no problem, I can do this. But it has to be someone. It has to be a medium or smaller creature, and I was like, God damn it.
Yep.
I don't mean to be
12?
too cynical, but
12.
it's fun watching Aslan fail.
Especially when he's just so sure of himself.
Yeah, he's all.
That is so
"I got it,
cruel.
guys. And then he just eats his words.
So you come back up, gasping for air, and you realize that is one freezing fail. You are freezing to death. Hypothermia is going to set in very quickly.
You need help down there, Aslan?
As you can see, Aslan like shaking his. No, I got it.
You feel your body starting to tremor already as it's trying to generate heat.
How far are we away now? We're still 20.
You're about
15, 20 feet.
Yeah, 15, 20 feet away.
Okay.
You could move there in it's difficult terrain-esque half movements. So 15 foot would be, if you're dashing, swimming just as hard as you can, you could make it in 1 6-second interval.
Yeah, I'll do that because there's a spot up for Borko to climb up, so it's not.
Yeah, he climbs up and gets his claws up there, hooves up there, and finally gets himself up and shakes himself off, and he's got enough blubber. He's not freezing to death. He's cold. He's not happy, but he made it.
I guess Aslan's like.
You make it there. I need another. As you're climbing out, since you spent the entire round in the water, another fortitude or constitution. Sorry, fortitude. Pathfinder.
20.
20. You get off and immediately throw your robe off, and your body starts to warm up a bit in the air because it's not terrible. It's cold, but it's not terrible, and you're still in the process of freezing to death, but not so bad. So you're standing there, bare-chested, going, "Made it!"
Aslan's like, as you can see, he's clearly embarrassed, and then he's all like, "See, that was no problem at all."
Following along the sideways to make sure that Borko got over there safe, and like when Aslan gets back up there, he's gonna chuckle, like.
So you work your way back across to the landing, correct? So I need a dexterity check from you, please.
Now, does my ring of free movement, because it's not going to be difficult terrain?
It's not difficult terrain. It's just slick, so you may fall in. Nope.
Same roll, 19.
Scoot right along the edge just fine.
All right.
Very good.
Now you can have someone, and he's like, you can have someone take him back to the house, and we can get on this boat and get out of this God's forsaken freezing area.
Yeah, Grodan rewrites the letter because it's probably soaked now.
Yeah, it is, but you can do so. It's not that big of a deal. The boat is now available. The captain is laughing hysterically, but still keeping an eye, making sure everybody's not going to die, but then laughing hysterically.
Very well.
Along with several members of the crew.
Are all the Loxodons starting to make their way to the ship?
They are. They're all coming around the edge. I'm just going to do a couple rolls, make sure that people get there. Oh, one of the Loxodon, as he's sliding across, his foot slips and and he slips in.
They can use the. Well, I guess
people
they could try to use.
Rush around him, grab his hand and pull him back up, but he got a little wet, and he's much like Aslan, a little embarrassed, but they scurry across the edge and come back out. He's the one that fell in is all wet and dripping as he comes by you and shivering and, "Thank you, sir, for this opportunity," and heads into the tunnels. I'll make sure your ox gets back safe.
Very well. And then once everybody's there, I guess we'll start figuring out how to help get the boat free. And I'm assuming with 10 Loxodon, things that are strength required are going to be a lot easier.
Yeah. If you want to attempt this without the gem first, you can do so, or you can just jump and go whole hog, however you want to do it.
We'll try the magic first.
So I'm assuming that during this time, maybe like the supplies that he'd had requisitioned would have maybe showed up.
Yeah, they're there. Now, do you want to wait for the boat to get free and then try to figure it out, or do you want to try to ferry them across?
Well,
beforehand?
I mean, the dinghy's already there, so I mean,
yeah,
they
there
can
is
load
a
up the
dinghy that Aslan could have used, but chose to ride
load
Borko
the dinghy
instead.
And get that going while we start figuring out how we're going to free the ship.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, the ice bridge he built begins to melt and break apart in chunks and float down the stream.
All right. So once I get the water up, then we'll ferry this stuff across. Or do you want to ferry the stuff across and then I use the gem? It's up to you.
Aslan, if you're standing there,
it would be wise to
and
get everything on board.
Your body is shivering. You are going to take a point of exhaustion as you're trying your best to get warm, but can't. You won't face any more saving throws, but you do face a point of exhaustion.
That's fair. Alright. So I guess Aslan waits until they get all this stuff ferried in.
Alright, so as you ferry it across, you have the boat so you don't have to face things falling in, or people falling in. They haul it up, they're used to that. They have ropes and pulleys and not a problem. Then the captain pulls in all the ropes they've been using to wedge themselves free and get it all lined up and leans over the edge and says, however you want to do it, just let me know what to do. Or not do.
You ready, Grodan? Let's get this boat on the roll.
Yes.
And I take out the gem. And
how are you planning on using the gem?
I guess I can, try it. I assume it needs magic, so I can, try to, charge it with one of, I guess, my magic.
Okay. You tell me what you're trying.
I'm
put it on your forehead? Are you going to throw it at it? How are you using said stone?
Oh, I guess I'm just gonna I'm gonna hold it, but lift it out and just, I guess, charge it with magic, I suppose, and maybe that'll work.
Should maybe somebody who's strong enough to withstand a torrent of water be holding it?
You can't cast it. You can't cast though.
Well, can you cast it while I'm holding it, so you don't get blown away by the water?
I mean, I doubt
this is infinitely more complicated than an enemy changeling escaping.
I mean, in my head, it was a lot more simplistic, but the execution is harder.
We've been doing this for the past 20 minutes.
It's your call.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Grodan hold it, and
Grodan's gonna stand at the bow of the ship because it's that's where they're at, and then he's gonna hold it facing down towards the water and just stay. And while he can't do that. So yeah, he's gonna do that and just
The captain of the guard comes up to you and says, "Where do you want us, sir? We can push as hard, but we don't want to be in the way."
I think
we will try
this.
this.
Stay out the way.
And then, if we need to, we will get out and push.
Yes, sir. So they stand back.
Perhaps brace me to make sure that I do not move.
All right. So the captain of the guard basically leans up against you back to back and digs his feet in, braces himself. I've got you, sir.
Good job, Captain.
All right.
Now, Asaniv.
I put my hands on the gem and focused on the power that the gym has.
And what level spell are you casting into it?
A 4th level spell.
All right. So I'm going to add 4 to the roll. 16. All right. That is, you cast into it and you see it glow this brilliant, bright blue as water starts like a fire hydrant just punishing the boat right at the base.
No, he's standing on the boat, like at the top of it.
Oh, I thought you were
trying
saying
to use
in
it
front
like
of
a jet
it.
ski. No, he's trying to use it like a jet ski,
Oh,
like propulsion that way.
I misunderstood. Okay. Well, it does produce quite a bit of water. It splashes into the water below. Great force. The captain is holding you up, so you're not knocked backwards.
And he's gonna like aim it down towards like the sand and see if he can like blast some of that sand away.
It's mostly rock and ice, and as you're pelting the area below, it does shift a few things, but not enough to dislodge the boat.
Well,
Some of
eventually
it,
it'll make enough water.
as the mist splatters and splashes around, you see ice forming on the bow of the ship a little bit and little flecks here and there. It's cold.
I am unsure of what this is supposed to do, Aslanev.
Eventually, it putters out, having used the magic within.
Loxodon.
Yes, sir.
Sybil, we will push.
So they go down front.
Yep.
So a Loxodon can move
joins.
how much? It is...
We can move things if we are a large character.
Right. So basically imagine 16 ox all pushing at the same time. 18? That's a good... Yeah. So you begin pushing, and you see the Loxodon all driving their shoulders into it. Make a strength check yourself, Mr. Grodan, being the... let me see how many get above that. Hold on. So they got 1.
13.
2.
Awesome.
3, because that was a natural. You got 3 successes out of 5. 4.
Yeah, that didn't quite work the way I thought it was going to. I thought.
So you get 5 successes. So out of all that, you hear this as the boat starts to move, and the people on board start cheering. Eventually, you get about chest deep in, and you feel it finally just start to flow free, as it is now got enough buoyancy behind it that it levels out. And you guys are all chest deep in water, so I need Constitution saving throws from you, Mr. Grodan, and I'll roll for the locks.
Saving throw?
Or, yeah, Constitution. No, check. Excuse me. 5.
Yeah, my saving throw would have been way better, but I think it still would have failed.
So you are shivering as the boat starts to flow away, and a couple of the other, like 4 of the other Loxodon are kind of in the same boat. The others start backing up as quick as they can and get out of there. They're cold, but they're not literally freezing to death. You think you may have gone in a little too deep. That water is frigid.
Yep.
As you back your way out, give me a second Constitution save to figure out if this is a...
13.
13. That is a success. So you have 1 failure, 1 success. You take a point of exhaustion, but you begin to feel your body warming up a bit as you step back out again. The captain looks and says, "All right, well, we're free. Thank you very much."
Everyone board.
So they send the dinghy back around for everyone. Is that in?
That'll work.
Now that you are loaded up, because it takes you a good 20-30 minutes to get loaded up, the captain looks at you and says, "Well, we're free. I'm not sure how to propel this thing backward. There's no wind."
Are there oars?
No, this is a ship, not a boat.
Are there poles?
We would
Surely
sink if
you have posts that you can use.
we have some posts we could probably push off the walls with if we need to. Yeah, we could probably work it back that way. She looks around.
I could do create water right in front of the ship, and that will cause some ripple effect, literally causing the boat to move. It will be slow, but it will work. Should work at least.
I'm sure
can
every
move it.
bit will help.
You could move it a little bit that way. You do have a powerful spray of water still in the gym. I'm just saying, it'd just take a lot more magic to do that.
Azaneev's like, all right. He puts the gem back in Grodan's hand. Let's give it another go.
Yep, he gets the captain. Another locks it on to brace him again.
All right. And you're holding it out with your arms, get all the strength you can muster. But at disadvantage now, if I am... Well, no, because this wouldn't be a strength. This would just be you're holding on to it. All right, so what are you pumping into it this time, Mr. Azaneev?
I'm pumping in my last 3rd level slot.
3rd level, so I add 3. Oh, you pump in a spell and you see it begin to glow. And it dies down.
I pump in a 2nd level spell.
All right, I'm going to cross your fingers, cross your fingers, cross your fingers. 13! It blasts out again. And this time, as it's hitting the water, the ship does move. It seems to have effect this time. And it is going to move for 1 minute. How far can it go in 1 minute at that rate? It goes a good 100 feet that way, and then the water dies down, but the ship is continuing to... There's no wind, so there's nothing slowing it aside from the friction of the water, which is not much. And it continues to inch its way out. After a good...
commands locks it on to man the poles and be ready to, push when needed.
Yeah.
All right.
I cast create water at 5th level.
All right, how much does
right
that
in front of
produce?
the boat. That is 40 gallons of water.
All right, so you lean over the front and aim at the bow, and you see it go. And it does seem to land in the water. There's a little...
Does it push the boat?
40 gallons of water is...
Under.
40 gallons of water isn't enough to really do a whole lot. You feel that there is... I mean, this is a, 4-ton or whatever piece of wood, and you throw 40 gallons of water at it. It hits the boat. It does produce a little bit of effect, but not enough to alter its course in any way.
All right.
But it's a good thought. I'm not poo-pooing the thought. It's just the reality of the thing.
Okay.
How much feet are we still in the cave?
You are
before we get out?
Probably a good 200 feet in, but you can see that you're inching your way there. And if you get the poles and push up, because it's a narrow tunnel. You guys did scrape the edge as you came in. You can work your way with like fence posts and stick them in the wall and keep moving.
I'll give one more until Grodan. All right, I think I can do one or two more max, and then I'm done.
There may also be another way. We do have grappling hooks. We can try to hook the walls and pull. But this is... If you prefer to do it this way, we can.
I mean, this seems to do a good measure at a time. If it doesn't work this time, then we can go do that idea. I'm
Very
getting
well.
kind of tired anyway. And I pump another second level spell into it.
All right. 4. So you see it. It's apparently the gem has gotten tired.
Aslan just puts his hand in his head and he's just like, okay, some days I really hate magic. And he takes
Very
the
well.
thing back, puts it in his bag.
Loxodon, man your grappling hooks.
Yes, sir. They each stand at the edge, grabbing their hooks and rope. They each have 50 foot of rope or so because they have kits with them. And
Aim back and pull.
so they throw. I'm going to do one throw for all of them. 17. All right. So that would probably... They throw back and it does, several of them hit and bounce off and fall in the water, and they retrieve their hooks. But some of them actually connect and they begin pulling, and a good 5 or 10 ox pulling on this thing would generate quite an effect. So do the Loxodon, and eventually they pass their hooks and they just reach out and grab the hook as they go by, and you guys are sailing back. Pretty soon you feel the currents start to take over and rock the boat a little bit. Eventually you find yourself out in open water again. It is now just about sunset. It's taken you a couple hours to do all this. You see the sun not setting, but low on the horizon.
As he tells Grodan, he's like, I really, really hate ships and boats and the open sea and water, and I hate it all, and I don't want to be on this anymore.
I am not overly fond of sailing, but it is the quickest way to get back.
Just wait until I learn how to use teleportation circles. I swear I will never travel on foot or sea again.
Where are we headed? The captain asks.
I believe Luskin first.
All right. Are you done with
Were we planning on departing from Luskin to head
tell
towards
me,
that
what is your
fleet?
plan?
I can't remember what they said, because it was the Duke who said that there was, based off of our directions, that Luskin was the closest, I think. I can't remember.
Yeah, Luskin is the closest city aside from Mirabar. Mirabar is the closest, but
yep.
You didn't...
Did we ever get that whole thing fixed with Mirabar, or did we forget about that?
No. The captain has to send, word to the Duke, which I guess we could technically do via sending. Which I guess while we're on the boat, that's one of the things that
you
Grodan
have
do.
3 days on the boat that's going to take you, or 2 days on the boat now, to get back to Luskin. It's a not super long trip, but it's not going to be an hour's journey taxi ride or something. So you have time to rest and recoup. And Aslan Eve, I am sure the first place you go is into the mess hall where the stove is. The only fire on a boat is the stove.
Correct.
Even then, it is closely guarded because a fire on a boat is the world's worst in the Arctic, world's worst possible scenario. So you're down there, getting yourself warm. Grodan probably might want to do that, but that's up to him.
Grodan's going to first have Beskar do sending to the Duke. Let him know that we've departed, and also that the Alliance depends on the Lord's Alliance being able to halt Mirabar's aggression.
Sorry, say that second part again?
We are heading back towards Luskin. We've departed from Frosthold, and the alliance with the Loxodon depends on Mirabar's aggression towards the Loxodon ceasing.
I send that. Sorry.
So how would you say it? Tell me. That was Grodan's voice. Tell me your voice. What words would Beskar choose to say?
We are on our way back to Luskin. And I've already forgotten what he said. I'm sorry.
Wow.
And
Big
the alliance
ADD.
depends on Mirabar halting aggression towards the Loxodon.
And I just heard that just now. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you echo that. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
All right. So
Make sure the changeling is secure.
you hear back in your head, the intel you gave us for the jeweler was spot on. Thank you. And I will address Mirabar personally.
All right. He thanks us for the intel on the changeling, and he will see to Mirabar personally.
Very well. So Grodan is going to try and start warming up, but he's also going to go over to Captain Thorba. Captain, are you ready for this undertaking?
I've been ready for a week. But yes,
I appreciate you coming and being the first contact with my people. I
You're
believe you
welcome.
to be an honorable person, and I think that that was a good choice. You
Well,
seemed to impress the mistress.
you're not so bad yourself there, Mr. Grodan. Or should I say, Mr. War Master? What do you go by now that you have a title?
To people who have known me before, Grodan will suffice. I'd like to think that we are becoming friendly, and my friends can still call me Grodan.
Yeah, here's my question to you. Can your friend still swing a sword at you for the fun of it?
I am always open to a challenge.
She grins. We have 2 days on this boat. I have a feeling you and I are going to have a little bit of fun.
Agreed. Grodan's actually excited about that. He's been wanting to fight with her for a while. It's gonna be like
Someone
the Rocky and
actually asked
Apollo
him
Creed
to.
montage.
Yes. So you guys
Man.
sail off?
We just made an old people joke. You guys know that. You guys know that joke, right?
I
No,
didn't hear
they
it.
don't.
Wasn't.
The Rocky and Apollo Creed montage? No?
No.
God.
Yep. It's sad. It's sad. So you guys are on the water, sailing away from the sunset, but still sailing as the sun sets. You go downstairs, Grodan, and find Aslan Eve no longer shivering, but still a little bit blue around the edges. And the cook is standing there just laughing at him, feeding him hot chocolate. Would you like one too?
I would not be opposed.
Right, coming right up.
Aslan Eve turns to Grodan. He was like, that went so much better in my head. Sometimes I feel that I'm not as good at magic as I believe I am.
I don't think that it is the magic that you are bad at. It is the thinking that occasionally is a problem for you.
I mean, in theory, on paper, it looked really good.
What was your original intention?
The original intention was I was going to Dimension Door, Borko over, and Dimension Door back, and that was it. And
What
then use
was the
water,
problem there?
use the water gem to increase the water level, get the boat unstuck, and yeah, it didn't work that way.
What ended up being the problem with the Dimension Door?
Apparently, Borko is too large to teleport. At least at the level that I was trying. It would have been a different story with a teleport spell or perhaps a teleportation circle, but with the dimension door, it's mainly used for in a pinch, like to get you and like another person out of the way. When Borko is a little big.
He is much larger than a person.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way.
In any case, you persevered.
I did.
Despite being woefully ill-equipped. That is admirable.
Yes, I have never been well equipped in life, so I learned to manage with. I think I could use more practice as far as combat practice, and if you're not too busy beating up on the half-orc, I'd like to spar with you one day, Grodan.
I am intrigued. You have never shown interest in this.
I know that there's a war coming, and I'm not going to always be in the back.
That is wise.
And I just need more combat experience against actual people, I suppose. It's always been monsters or Dracoliches. It's never been against a person, really.
I will say that I undertook training from the War Master specifically to fight magic users. So it may be a good thing for you to spar with me due to that ability. If you are able to fight with me, it may aid you in those who are less adept at combating mages.
Bringin sits down and grabs a chunk of bread and starts chewing on it. And so you two are going to go at each other, huh?
I could probably take you, Bringin.
Oh, I'm more the talking type than the fighting type, but you know what?
Yes,
I'll watch.
Well aware. Do you know what would be really funny, Grodan? Me versus Beskar.
That would be hilarious.
Okay, side note, Jerry, the GM, would pay to see that. That's all I'm saying. I'm done.
I think a good step would be probably to fight Beskar first. I want to see how he'd do against me.
We're gonna do this now.
I mean,
because I'll
run the idea by him.
I feel like
Bringin
Beskar
just sits
would
back, crosses his
jump at
arms,
that.
and is grinning like mad right now.
But we have plenty of time to practice.
Do we want to brawl on the ship?
Maybe don't use AoE stuff because, ship.
Yeah, I'm in Aslan in no condition to fight right now. But
yeah, this may be a next day thing. I mean, Grodan could fight y'all, but he would still be a little bit of a disadvantage.
I've got 5 spell slots left, and they're all first level.
That's fair. And I used my 5th level slot, and we would need a better controlled environment other than a lone ship in the Arctic.
I mean, I'd fight you on the ship. I would just have to be more careful of not destroying the whole ship in the process.
I would.
Or killing crew members,
ship,
yeah.
Yeah,
Or soldiers.
Make some room, just like
the boat is very full of people right now. They offloaded a lot of cargo when they were in Luskin the first time, so there's cargo space. But they're now having to find extra hammocks to convert the cargo space into Loxodon sleeping quarters, because you brought 10 new Loxodon on board with you. And Loxodon are not small creatures.
Can probably sleep on the ground.
We fought in closer quarters. I think we'd be fine.
Still, we can do it later.
Well, yeah, later. Not now, of course. I'm too tired.
Yes, I agree. You're too tired.
That would have been the only preparation, would be contacting the Duke, maybe contacting Ko and, checking and seeing what, if anything, has changed as far as, like any activity, because I'm assuming that they're out there, like, kind of keeping an eye on and scouting around Axletha.
They have begun their march. Let me see how far they got, because they have 3 days in. She had to wait for a day. They're 3 days in, so let me pull up, since we're not using that map anymore. Let me pull up the other map, because you guys didn't go the way I thought you would go, so An entire map planning session is wasted. Dang it.
That's how DMing works.
That's right. That's exactly how it works. I usually have to plan for 3 things. I know that one of those 3 things is going to happen. I had fully not expected you guys to get back on the boat. So this is a new area. All right, so we have those off. They have made it. What's the scale on that? Okay. From Luskan, they've crossed the. Oh no, they're going to go up through Mirabar. So they have made it to Mirabar and are now coming down south from there. So I have where they're at in my head. Were you going to discuss with them? Like contact them?
Basically message them and see if they had, or do sending and see if they had seen, any
Sure,
signs of, outward changeling aggression, like maybe border guards or, anything like that.
Okay. So what is the message? And who's sending? First of all, how many people have sending left?
Just 2. Well, I mean, this would be over the course of the, 2 days.
Oh, okay. Over the course of 2 days,
Yeah.
you do contact them.
Just updating and checking
yeah.
to see, like, their position and just keeping in contact, because that's what, you do. You make sure that you're...
Right. So you'll hear back from her, and what do you say to her over the course of 2 days?
Basically just checking position, seeing if there have been any, outward signs of,
Right. So what do you say?
Changeling forces. Basically just asking for a status report. That's...
So you contact her and say, status report. Where are you and what are you doing? All right. So she says, well, we cut across the crags, made it to Long Saddle, and are just now camping. Daxletha is 4 days from here. That's message number 1. Message 2 is they are just now leaving Long Saddle, and everyone is in good spirits.
And
so everything seems to be going well.
Grodan would make sure to convey to them to her to make camp at a safe distance and use scouts to acquire more intel.
That's what the captain said. That's what she replies. Okay, remember, she is traveling with a practiced army.
Got it. Yeah.
We're on the ship.
You are on the ship.
We're coming to a close. Is there enough time for us to rest and me and Beskar to spar?
No, not even close. Because the sparring session is going to be at least an hour. I already know that. Just because of the way you guys do things.
I was like, you think it's going to last that long?
Wow. Y'all don't finish stuff as quickly as, Grodan does.
I think that was more a slam on Beskar than it was an actual question. But... All right, guys.
You don't have that many more hit points than I do. Calm down. You have like 10 more.
How? Yeah, I have 72. You have what?
Oh, okay.
52?
Okay, 51. I have 20 more than I do.
Sometimes all you need is 5 hit points. I'm just saying.
And I can heal myself. You cannot.
Not if I keep counterspelling your healing.
He has a point.
But I have some plans.
All right, so
for another time.
You guys are on the boat. You are headed to Luskan. You have gone around the Icewind Dale again. You look over and you see the frigid Arctic front that is Icewind Dale. It looks to be a very inhospitable place. You come around the Ice Peak, and that's about the first day. The second day, you are traveling from the Ice Peak to Luskan, and we will pick up on that particular leg of the journey next week, as apparently Thorba wants to put the beat down on Grodan. And
I'm
possibly
ready to see
Beskar and Co. or Beskar and Aslaneve want to attempt to murder each other. And meanwhile, Bringen is just sitting back, chewing on a piece of bread, going, "You guys are crazy.
He's
What have I
doing the
gotten
Aries
myself
spear,
into?"
just sitting there eating popcorn, like, you
Yep.
know. Awesome. Well,
So there we
good
are.
game, everybody.
I appreciate it. Thank you again to Keegan for the artwork. I do want to put this up again,
Yes.
because I am personally blown away. I think this is just amazing. So
Now you guys know what we look like.
No, he
This-
was awesome, like for real, from start to finish.
Yeah.
this is the group. I know I was muted earlier when I was talking about it. This is the group. We have Ko, Beskar, Grodan, Aslaneve, and Bringen and Aslaneve. Amazing artwork and very well done. And that is pretty much how I pictured them, minus the black fog at the feet. That's pretty close to it. So very impressed.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
It's awesome. Thanks, Keegan. You're amazing.
And
Yes,
let
thank
me
you
put
very
up his.
much.
Let me put up his art handle here. Nope, this side. There it is. It's right there. Great. It's amazing.
Go follow
So-
him. Go give him money.
It is on Reddit /crisp-concept, and on Instagram crisp, that's KRISP _concept. So look him up there. He deserves all the shout outs in the world because it's absolutely amazing work. And we will probably give him a lot more props as we go. Anything else, guys, you have to announce? I don't think I have anything going. I have a lot of gaming sessions through Start Playing this week. I have 4 sessions this week. So starting tonight, doing this session, which is not Start Playing, but I am doing basically a session a night. So it's going to be crazy. So bear with me.
Whoop, whoop.
You guys have a good
Yeah.
night.
You too.
All right, guys. I
Great
will.
fun.
Yes, it was. I will see you all next week, and we will see who gets to beat up on who.
Good night, guys.
Bye.